Most people that I've spoken to, I realize that for them, college is more like this is the best time of our lives. After this, it's all, it's all downhill from here. There's nothing good about life after college. So, you know what? I'm going to enjoy these 4 5 years that I have, and then we'll slog later. That is usually the idea. But that's not an idea that I have. So, I don't think that college life is your best life. You can make it that way. You can decide if you want everything else to be downhill. But I don't think life ends at college. It just begins. It barely begins. So you have a lot of things to look forward to. So I don't see it that way.
This is episode 13 of Keep Me Inspired podcast show with Shreya Pattar. I have been getting a lot of DMs asking when are you gonna release the episode with Shreya Pattar. Today is the release of the episode. Before I take you to the conversation, let me give you a quick intro of my podcast. Hello everyone, I am Shwat Manoj. I am your host for this show. Every 15 days, I will be interviewing today's most inspiring personalities who will range from CEOs, YouTubers and other change makers to help you realize your true worth and make the right decision at the right time. So that's about my podcast. If you are a curious person and can't wait to complete the full podcast, you can go to the description to click on the particular timestamps to go on a certain topic. And Shreya also given a coupon code for my listeners. So make sure you stick till that. Without wasting any more time, wear your headphones or earphones and let's dive into our conversation. Alright, the person you are seeing on the screen is none other than Shreya Pattar, and before she starts speaking, I would like to say something about her. Me and she were in the same coaching program and I've been following her for around 1.5 months, and from the past 1 year I've been into freelancing field, and I've been doing a lot of blunders, and I also consumed around 300 plus books, and I just consumed it for the sake of reading, no, because successful people read lot of books. I heard it from some quotes, and recently I read her book Money Calls, and that literally helped me for conducting sales calls, which I was terrible at before I started. I always closed my deal on text messages, and after reading this I was able to get some confidence for conducting a perfect sales call, and that's all thanks to Shreya. And recently I read her new book which is called as Freelancing Freedom, and it literally is a one stop for all freelancer who is just starting out or somewhat intermediate like me, because you should get your basics right. And apart from that, she has been posting some videos on like photos on fitness on her Instagram. Even that inspired me a lot. And thank you so much, Shreya, for being here. It really means a lot to me. You took your quality time and you are here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's great. I mean, I'm so glad you read my ebooks. And like that was one of the first things you did, when we spoke, when we met, and then you just messaged me on Instagram, and you got my ebooks, and you were the one of the few people to actually apply it. You saw the results. I'm really happy. So yeah, thank you so much for making the most of whatever I've created. I really appreciate that.
And also, while posting on LinkedIn, I was never confident to share my story. But I read your anthology book, and after that, I felt like sharing my own stories, and
Yeah.
and forgive me for that. I also copied you in Instagram reels, and I did some similar reels, and also copied some styles of your YouTube thumbnails and stuff. and
Okay. It's
and
a
I
way to
also
start, I guess.
yeah, I started, and I also was inspired from many of the podcasts you conducted with some different people. And I won't be asking you same repeated set of questions over here. I will try to be
Mm.
unique.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so I would like to start from how were you as a in the college life? How did you utilize your networks for your freelancing business?
That's an interesting question. So I was in college for 3 years. I studied English and philosophy in Trinity College abroad. So I moved to Dublin around 3 years ago, and I think the main thing for me was to just be a part of as many things as possible, because I was studying a course that's art, that's English and philosophy. It's very different from the business side of things. But I was so involved in business that if like everyone in the business school always knew me. They always saw me around, hanging around in that building. I was there in every event you can think of. I was there pitching. I was there, conducting workshops. I was doing different things. I was just very involved. And I think that was the main thing that I did to, create a network as such. It wasn't something I did on purpose. My plan wasn't, okay, I have to go build a network. I have to go find an opportunity. It wasn't like that. It was just about, this is something of interest to me. I like being in a space where I'm learning how businesses work, how to come up with startup ideas, how to form a team, how to market yourself, how to build that idea into something that can actually be put out there in the real world and not just on paper. So all of these things were really fascinating to me. So I just, I was a part of these events, these opportunities very frequently. And I think within the first few months of being in college, everyone in the business school, especially like the main staff, the main professors, they knew me. And then if anything came up, they would email me like, hey, Shreya, this has come up. Do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to host this event? Do you want to, meet this person? And I think that just opened up new things in general for me in terms of everything, not just freelancing. So I wouldn't say I've got freelancing clients as such from college networking, but I have become visible. People knew me. People I didn't know would stop me sometimes and say, hey, you write on LinkedIn. I follow you on LinkedIn. So that was a different kind of impact that I had. I think just being a freelancer and being somebody who was always present in every possible scenario. So that's how my networking was in college.
You were a multi-talented person. Were you there in almost all activities which are not related to your field?
I really enjoy a lot of things. So although I liked writing for a long time, I really enjoy baking and cooking. So I used to do a lot of that. Um, it went down with time, once this became an actual career and I'm actually doing writing constantly, it's more demanding in terms of time. So everything else goes down. But yeah, I really like cooking and baking. I really enjoyed badminton. So I played badminton even in college for a few months, but it just wasn't something I could keep up with. Now I enjoy going to the gym because there's only so much you can do during a pandemic. You can't really go out. It's raining as well, so you can't really be outside. So yeah, I like going to the gym. So I have a lot of different interests, and I try to pursue them in whatever ways I can.
The gym is in your same building. For me, gym is closed over here.
No, the gym is outside. It's a gym outside, but yeah, things have opened up quite recently. So I'm glad it's open. There's somewhere to be.
You have personally like advised me like when I had a question of dropping out, you
Mhm.
told me to like pursue if you are very close to achieving the degree or what are your thoughts on why should we continue our education along with this? You also spoke about this in that value pack session of Raj Shamani, Digital Pratik, and all
Right.
those.
So an interesting thing is that my course was a 4-year course. I myself decided to complete it with a bachelor's, an ordinary bachelor's in 3 years instead of the honors course that was a 4-year course. And this was a pretty last minute decision. Like I decided it earlier this year, and it was only because of where I'm heading right now. So I'm heading with freelancing. I know that what I'm up to, what I'm doing is quite clear. I know that I'm not looking for something that my degree would offer me. I'm looking for something different. So I decided that this is not the path for me right now. Now, if I didn't have the option to graduate in my third year with an ordinary BA, I probably would have completed it. The reason being I had 1 year left. And also the reason being that it's okay for me to be responsible for my decisions of, quitting things, of leaving things sooner, of doing things differently. But when I'm giving advice, I want to give a well-rounded advice. I always want to give you that full, clear picture because things don't always work out later on. You may be a great freelancer now, things may be going smoothly now, but just 2 years later down the line, if something doesn't work out, you don't want to have that regret in your head that, okay, if I at least had a degree, something would have been different, right? You don't want that. So if I'm giving out advice, I'm going to always consider the worst case scenario. And if I think that, okay, there's 1 year left, you might want to complete it. You've already given so much time and effort. It doesn't harm to have a degree, especially when you were already committed to it when you were starting out. So I mean, of course, it's great to have both. If you're freelancing successfully, that's great. If you want to quit, but my advice will always be always consider the worst case scenario as well.
I really like the way that you have put up your thoughts into the book. Even you have, for all cases, you have clearly written down some points. Like even if you work for hourly, you don't recommend it. Still, you have focused on that. And
Yeah.
I also had one more question. During our college days, lots of people will get into bad habits,
Hmm.
and like we choose financial freedom, there are majority of people who get into some kind of addiction. Even personally, my lot of my friends got into some kind of addictions. What are your thoughts on how should we stay safe from those things, and if we are into some addiction, how to overcome that? What are your thought as a student of our age group? What do you suggest on this?
I think everyone has a different priority, especially during college times. No one really cares about career. No one really cares about, setting a business. Most people that I've spoken to, I realize that for them, college is more like this is the best time of our lives. After this, it's all, it's all downhill from here. There's nothing good about life after college. So you know what? I'm going to enjoy these 4 or 5 years that I have, and then we'll slog later. That is usually the idea, but that's not an idea that I have. So I don't think that college life is your best life. You can make it that way. You can decide if you want everything else to be downhill, but I don't think life ends at college. It just begins. It barely begins. So you have a lot of things to look forward to. So I don't see it that way, first of all. And second of all, the kind of person I am, I just like being with myself. So Dublin is a very, big space for pubs, outing. Everyone's out, always in Dublin. You take it as a Monday afternoon, you take it as a Thursday evening, you take it as a Friday night. Everyone's out because that's the kind of culture in Dublin, in Ireland. But I'm not that kind of person. I like being by myself. I like being indoors where it's warm and where I don't have to wear 10 different layers of clothes. And that in a way shields me from a lot of things. Now, I don't have advice on how you can, overcome addictions. I'm not an expert at that. I don't have advice on how you can not fall into them. But the main thing is just to get busy with something. When you are busy doing something else, when you have a clear focus, then you don't want to let anything else ruin your life. It doesn't have to be career. I'm not saying this career. Like for me, for example, I even like going to the gym. That's one of my biggest goals right now is working around my health, becoming stronger, becoming healthier. And when I commit to that, I let go of a lot of things that are bad for me. Like I've reduced how much, packed food I eat, and all of those things, like small things that were addictions for me. Like I was really addicted to, eating a biscuit any point of the day. I don't like doing that anymore because that's not something that aligns with, where I want to be in a few months from now. So I think that's the best way to not fall into anything, not wrong, I won't say wrong, but not fall into anything that's bad for you, because when you're committed to just, becoming your best self and trying to do it as fast as you can, you won't lean towards anything that can take you even a little bit away from that success. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, I think your personal life you have clearly mentioned in anthology book. I really
Yeah.
loved that a lot, and the concept that you explained about that dot, same dot in two position, and one it looks like bigger and one it looks like smaller. You had mentioned that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those there were so many moments which were like bulb on moment for me. Like I never knew about that.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
And why did you choose Gumroad instead of Amazon for publishing your book? Is it just the fact that in Amazon for ebook there is a limit of $9.99 or something?
Not that. I mean, Gumroad is a creator-friendly platform. It's meant for creators. So they don't take 70% commission, which Amazon takes if you charge above a certain amount. 70% is a lot. And if I'm working with Gumroad, it's like 5%, less than that. There's a lot of other benefits as well. Like everyone's on Gumroad and everyone's selling something, creating something. I just like that kind of energy that Gumroad has. And how I found Gumroad was actually through Twitter, because the founder of Gumroad, Sahil Lavangia, he has a really good Twitter account. And when he started, like, Gumroad is pretty old, like 10 years. He's been building it for 10 years. At that time, it was quite futuristic. So it took a lot of time for Gumroad to kick off. It's been visible in the past 2 3 years, not more than that. And at the time when it was like picking up, Sahil would always tweet the success. He would tweet how much revenue creators made, how the company is growing, how they got more creators on board, how many teammates they have. And every month he used to put out a review. Every quarter he used to put out a like full summary. And I just found that very inspiring. I just found his way of sharing his journey to be very unique. And more than the platform, I was like, okay, this guy is very interesting. I want to see what he's working on. I want to understand what is different, because this person is different. So he's definitely created something good. And based on that influence and based on seeing how everybody was selling something only on Gumroad suddenly, I was like, okay, let me see what it is about. And turns out it's a great platform to be on. So yeah, I mean, I think I've used Gumroad once. I don't like any other platform. There are many similar platforms out there coming up. I I tried them out. I don't like them anymore. Gumroad is like it just hits the nail on the head. You don't need anything else.
And also, I would like to say that if someone is thinking that Shreya's book is very expensive right now, which is $37, trust me on this. She can easily charge $50 to $100 because of the spoon feeding she does on that. Especially the templates, right? It were crazy.
Yeah. Do you like them?
I love them, that freelancing
Okay.
templates. I wish I would have had access on that before. I did so many courses, but nobody exactly spoon fed me do this for contract or.
Yeah, that's actually like the exact word my parents used when they read the ebooks, and they were like, "Okay, this is an absolute spoon feeding. You have done exactly what people want. You're telling them how to do every single thing. How do you explain every single word?" And I think, yeah, I'm just glad I could create something like that. There's nothing out there. Who tells you how to create an invoice? Who gives you an invoice template? I don't know anybody who would do that in a freelance coaching, right? So I really wanted to do that, and because people struggle so much with simple things like this, it's important. You use invoices all along, so you need to know how to do these things. So yeah, I'm glad I could create something that's spoon feeding. I really enjoyed creating it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
your earlier book, Money Calls. After that, like I got some mindset to close a $1,000 deal client.
Hmm.
However, it's completely on text message, but I was even ready for a money call, like your
Hmm.
book name is, and
Yeah.
uh, and that's how like my confidence began, and I am really thankful to you for that.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm glad.
even you are still like providing some 20% discount on money calls. Is it still there or?
But your listeners can get it if they want. So you can probably use the code 20, just like TWENTY, and your listeners can get the discount. Yes.
Wow, I will definitely link them over here. I was about
Yeah.
to ask you that at the end, but you provided it yourself.
Yeah.
I have a set of questions which I ran a poll on Instagram and people asked
Hmm.
me.
Okay.
Actually, I personally had a lot of questions about freelancing, but everything has been clear on your one book, Freelancing Freedom. So I won't be using that same questions again.
Hmm.
For those who want the answers to that, check out the description. I will be attaching Shreya's Gumroad link. You can buy the Freelancing Freedom. That one book is sufficient for everything, especially advanced version, not the basic version. So, can I ask you some questions which my social media follower
Yeah.
asked?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, how much time Shreya spends on social media?
I don't know. I spend a lot of time because honestly, I enjoy it so much. You can see me. I do like three Q&As every week. I answer like 100 questions per Q&A because I love doing it. I love answering questions. It gives me so much to think about. So yeah, I spend way too much time on social media. Way too much. But I like it.
Okay, name some mentors who you learn from.
There's a lot of people. I think just, going on Twitter, I just read a lot of tweets that from people that I follow, and the people that I follow also retweet a lot of really good people. So that's how I end up, finding new mentors to follow. Of course, Jose Rosado is one of the biggest ones because he was actually one of my clients. So he was a client for a month. He
Oh
liked
my
what I
gosh.
did, and yeah, he liked what I did, and he was like, Shreya, I just want to help you grow your business. And I thought that was a really cool thing. He just reached out and he was like, let's do something different. And then he became like this one-on-one mentor who's just, helping me with everything. And I think it's
Yeah.
really cool. He's really nice. Like for him to, just get up and offer that, I think, yeah, it was really nice of him. And in general, just a lot of people I follow on Twitter. That would be Ed Latimore. I really like his tweets. Ajax, so Alexander Cortez, he's really good.
Hmm.
Um, like yeah, like and there's a few people. There's Keval Shah on Twitter. Like all these people have this really interesting ways of portraying themselves. They're all doing different things, but I think the common thing is that they're really good writers. Everyone is just the writing is so impactful. So even if I'm not learning like how to run a business from them or like fitness or things like that, I'm still learning how to become a better writer. So those are my mentors in the sense of, I consume their content and then in that sense they become mentors, I guess. Yeah.
Like, how did you get in touch with that people like Raj Shamani, Vaibhav Shishinti, and Divyansh? Even me, I had purchased their courses, and it was so insightful. How did you get
Hmm.
in touch with them?
They reached out, I think, for they were planning some session. They reached out and we did a YouTube live many months ago. Yeah.
I literally love that one video. I will be attaching that link as well here because that one complete video is a one stop watch for all the college students, I guess. They literally
Hmm.
speak about like why we should not drop out of college and so many different things. Raj Shamani shared some nuggets, even Shreya Patel shared some nuggets. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And the next question will be what is Shreya's future plan? Does she see herself changing her career in the near future? If yes, which field interests her?
I think there's a lot to explore. So I started out with something different. I'm doing something slightly different now. So I do see myself doing more different things. I'm not going to talk about any of that yet because I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just something I'm taking one day at a time for now. And as in when things happen, I guess you'll find out. That's all I'll say.
Okay, one more question.
Hmm.
How is Shreya different from other academic mentors? There are some mentors who make you enroll into their course and then they will tell you they will support you and then they will leave your hand in between. So, what are your thoughts on some this kind of gurus who claim they were self some gurus and they don't actually support you?
See, the thing is that you can't really expect external support from anyone. Like even, people struggle to get support even from people in their family, people they know. So expecting support from somebody who just doesn't know you at all is just a very big expectation to have, something that probably won't work out because anybody who's selling courses, like, over 400 people are reading this ebook. So I cannot claim that, oh, I'm going to help every single person. No. If you reach out to me, I'll help you out with my responses, but I cannot guide every single person. Similarly, like, when thousands of people are purchasing your courses, uh, you can't give personal attention to everyone unless you're doing something, unless you have a team maybe who's helping you out with that. So I don't have any comments on any such courses. I've not taken such courses, but the main idea is that as even if you get a lot of support, the only thing is that you have to still take action. They can still keep telling you, okay, you need to do this. I'm supporting you. I'm telling you, you do this. But if you don't put in the work, their support will feel like, oh, they're just saying something. They're not really helping me. But you are the one not doing the work. So it's not really, I mean, the word support would be overrated in this sense that you can't, first of all, you can't expect it from people. You have to do it yourself. And second, even if you do get it, you still have to act. So why not just focus on putting in the action rather than complaining about not getting support or motivation to start?
Yeah, finally we should fully be dependent on ourselves, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, this is one of my personal questions. So, all your three books is filled with some selected my favorite quotes.
Mm.
Like I don't know how you pick those kind of quotes. Those are like crazy inspiring when you read it for the first time. Can you
Hmm.
tell some quotes which are your top five favorites?
I don't remember any quotes honestly. I just read so many of them. I use quotes in all of my LinkedIn posts. So if my LinkedIn posts are not one-liners, which is if they're not just quotes from me, then they always have a quote in the end. I've been doing this for like a year. I think people when they read my LinkedIn posts, one of the things that really attracts them is the quote. Like they really like how well it ties up. So which is why I made it a feature of my book as well. So I wanted to keep that keep that spark and keep that energy that comes about by a quote or adding a quote, how it just gives so much substance to what I have said. I really liked that. So I wanted to do something similar for my ebooks. That's why you see so many quotes in all three of my ebooks. I don't have any favorite quotes as such, but I think one of them that really stood out to me was one by Taylor Swift, who I really admire her. So this is something I read like years ago, and it still stuck with me. And the quote was that I am intimidated by the fear of being average. And I think that's a really powerful quote where you just, you want to do something different, and that's what keeps pushing you constantly, even when you don't want to do anything. So I really like that quote.
If I had your book, right, it would be here somewhere, as my favorites.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
And
Thank you.
the way you designed your ebook, right? I personally, after reading 300 plus book, I personally prefer hard copy. But you
Mhm.
literally changed that. When for the first time I read Money Calls, I was like just opened it and just read one page and ended up reading everything within. And I remember I texted you late night
Yeah,
that
yeah,
my sharing my experience. It's
yeah.
that good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And did you do you want to share anything before I go to the last round of?
Nothing specific. I'm just really glad that I think this interview is a really good testimonial for all of my ebooks. So I'm really glad that
Definitely.
I'm really glad you read all of them, and I'm really glad we did this interview because I'm really
Even
happy that I get to hear your experience as a reader. So that's really nice.
even personally, I have written so many content in the past, but for a specific field I had no idea. For the first time when
Hmm.
I saw, like I just wanted to check out Shreya's YouTube channel, and ended up when I scrolled, I ended up seeing a video which is called as how to write content which client accepts. I think that kind
Yeah,
of title.
yeah,
And literally applied it. Let's give it a shot. And the doctor was like, he was very happy with the output because first I showed him the outline and did exactly what Shreya did. Even I shared her how that went. And
yeah.
yeah, she's your one-stop solution for content writing or freelancing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you applied. See, that's what I'm saying, right? You didn't just watch stuff and read stuff, but you actually ended up applying it, and that made a whole world of difference to you. And I really like seeing that it works. It worked for you. I'm so glad that happened.
Okay, so proceeding to the last round of this. So I call this as a bulb on moment round. Like literally your
Hmm.
bulb will go on in this round. I will ask same set of questions to all the guests. So you can answer me in a short answers.
Okay. Yeah.
So what inspires you to do everything you do?
Just wanting a better life for myself and my family.
What is the wrong belief that you hold about yourself for very long, which was stopping your growth?
And I couldn't grow so fast. So one of the things, like I can explain it a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. So one of the things is that I was stuck with a certain amount of income for a long time. And, my dad would always say that, you should next month aim to hit this much. And I used to always laugh, like, that's not possible. How will that happen? And stuff like that. And because of that, I was just stuck at the same income for a long, long time. Like for 6 months, I didn't grow in freelancing. And then I was like, what difference does it make? Let me just try. Let me just give it a shot. Let me see what I can do if I earn more. And like, I can do it. Maybe I can do it. And so I think there was one day when I had argued with my dad that, you just have too much expectation from me. And the very same day, I closed one deal that was worth more than the monthly amount he told me to earn. So I think that, once that happened, and, this cycle continued 2, 3 times. 2, 3 times, my dad kept increasing the income and he kept saying, you can hit this, you can hit this. It didn't happen because I was not, I was not sure of that. But when it did, now give me any number and I'm like, I'll do it. I need some time, but I'll do it. So that's the kind of energy that has changed for me. Very important. I'm glad it changed. It should have.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought that following Shreya is like we will feel overwhelmed by consuming her contents, but that changed when I started seeing the same results, similar results in my life as well. So I really like. I want to suggest you that don't just follow 1,000 different gurus. Focus on some selected few ones like Shreya or some other selected few ones, so that similar results will start applying in your life.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you want to credit everything to one routine or one habit of yours, what would that be?
Oh, my laziness. Because I'm so lazy, I just want to get things done and get moving and do something else. So that that
Like everyone will blame their laziness, like because I am lazy I don't do that. But you are like appreciating.
I want to because I want to get rid of things. I just want to get it out of my way. I don't want my to-do list to be full. So in that sense, my laziness, I try to turn it into a positive thing. Yeah,
Okay. What would you like to be remembered for?
my writing, just
You are already
writing.
known for that.
Yeah, for more in more ways, I guess. Yeah.
Like I can literally like recall your writing of the first book I read even today because of the way you wrote it. Because of the some examples, your life experience you shared on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would
And
be a nice thing to be remembered for.
and what are the apps do you suggest us to use for productivity or something?
I like to use this app called Forest. It's basically a
Hmm.
timer. So you set a timer for let's say 30 minutes, and if you use your phone, then the timer goes off. And if you don't use
And
your phone, then there's a seed that grows into a plant, and it's just nice. Like when you successfully complete it, you have a baby plant sitting in your phone. I don't know what it does, but it's just a nice way rather
feeling.
than yeah, rather than an alarm ringing at the end of at the end of your work hour or whatever. So I like to use that. I think it's nice.
And if you use that in between, that plant will die immediately.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, some book recommendation of yours other than the two you stated in the
yeah. Other than my books,
on writing and casualtizing. Other than that,
right? Okay. Um, I really like. I guess I really liked this one. There's a book by Jostein Garden called Sophie's World. It has a lot of philosophy in it. I really enjoyed it. Um, and there was a book called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I really enjoyed it. It was by Richard Bach. It was like I read it when I was probably 10 years old for the first time, and it
wow.
was it was just really interesting. It's a very short book, but I really like the kind of story that it has, and I don't want to give it away, but it's very inspiring. It's very feel good, and these are two books that I really enjoy. And other than that, like lately, I'm reading Harry Potter, so I'm getting through the full series. I'm on book two now. I decided to write my ebook in the middle of reading book one, so I'm on book two very slowly, but hoping to get through the series yeah, that's what I'm reading right now.
Are you planning on making some courses or anything?
Maybe eventually. Right now, I think I'm just enjoying that my third ebook is out, and I'm looking forward to more reviews for that.
If you had to start everything from the start, what would that be?
Hmm.
Like how would you do things differently?
How would I do things differently? I don't think I would do anything differently. I mean, if now I know, so now since I know stuff, I would just act faster because I have more clarity on where I have to go. In the beginning, I was very unfocused. I was just trying to do everything I could, but now I have more clarity on what I'm doing and where I'm going. So if I had to start again, that would be the first thing that, I decide exactly one or two things that I want to focus on, work only on that. And I would focus more on Twitter. I would love to be more involved on Twitter. Yeah.
So yeah, that covers all the okay, before I ask you the final question, I just want to know how people listening to this or watching this can get in touch with you.
Um, all social media. I think there's only one Shreya Patar. So if you just look up my name on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn,
LinkedIn.
Facebook, everywhere, hopefully I'm the first one that will pop up. So you can just DM me anywhere, but I'm mostly active on Instagram and LinkedIn. So that would be the best place to reach out to me.
Okay, so coming to the last question. So imagine you got a chance to speak in in a big stadium. So this
Mhm.
stadium is different than all other stadium you ever gave a talk on, because people from all over the world, all youth, everyone are standing there very eager to listen to you, to what you have to
Mhm.
say. You have given 1 minute to share your one life lesson. So what would you like to share to all of them?
That's a good question. Hmm. Okay. So I think, this is one thing that I've always talked about, showing up. We started our conversation with that when I said that, I showed up to every possible event that intrigued me, that was of interest to me in college. I showed up to writing every single day when I should have. I showed up to, just being a part of everything in school, just, standing up, writing my own poems, reciting my own poems, elocution competitions, all of these things, just being a part of these things. Which is why at this stage I know that, okay, I want to do writing full time. I'm good at speaking because I've had so much practice of just showing up and doing it every single day. And now in terms of freelancing, let's say everything's working out because I showed up on LinkedIn with a post every other day for 3 years. I showed up on Instagram with a post every single day for like a year. I'm showing up every single day. I'm showing up for this podcast. I'm showing up for the interview. And that's what really changes your life. And you just keep showing up for things that will later align into something that is life changing, into something that makes a lot of impact, positive impact, and a lot of huge impact, significant impact to your life. So I think that's what my advice would be to everyone out there. Like, just show up for things that matter to you because you don't realize it, but eventually it all just comes together and it changes your life.
That was something really powerful that you shared. Showing up to
Yeah.
summarize everything. It's just
Hmm.
showing up.
Yeah,
So, what would you
definitely.
like to summarize all this episode, like all this recording? What would you like for this listeners or viewers to do exactly 5 things in the next 30 days? What should they be doing?
Okay. So first thing would probably be that you should decide exactly what you want to do, because the more focused you are, the more clarity you have on what your next step is supposed to be, and then the sooner you reach wherever you want to reach. So first thing is have clarity. Second thing is get some experience working towards that goal. So if you want to freelance, for example, start doing it. And if you want to freelance, your first goal should be to find a client as soon as possible because you want that experience of working with someone, of making your own money. So if let's say you're a freelancer because you're here watching this, your first goal should be to find a client anyhow. The third step would be to, based on your experience, always keep learning and improving. So first, to do that, if you want experience as fast as possible, you have to put in the work every day. So especially if you have time now, considering exams are done for a lot of students, if you have time, given as much time as you can now for the next 30 days, just trying to get clarity again on not only what you're doing, but how you want to do it and where you see it going. Fourth thing would be to get help. If you want to get help, then as your host has told you throughout this podcast, that you should get my ebooks. And if you think that helps you out, you should do that. You should consume content that's helpful for you. It can be free content that you see on my Instagram or anyone's Instagram. It can be paid content like ebooks and courses, mine or anyone else's. Do that. And the fifth thing would be to, once you have experience, once you have some good questions to ask, once you really have some substance that you really, really need help with, ask someone about it. Let's say you ask me about it. So what that does is then you're asking the good questions. You're not confused, okay, where do I start? You're not asking a broad question which is not going to help you go anywhere. You're asking a specific thing. Like, hey, I worked with these many people. I want to grow to this much. And this is what I've tried so far. This is not working. What else can I try? When you have a full case study, like a full personal case study, that's when someone can help you better. So I think these are the 5 things of 5 ways to progress. And probably the fifth one would probably be at like the very end of the month if you're talking about a 30-day schedule here. So yeah, those would be my 5 next steps.
So that's about the podcast. Is there something that you would like to ask me, Shreya?
I guess when is this podcast going to come out? And okay,
Yeah.
one question is, when did you decide that you wanted to have me on your podcast? Why did you decide to do that?
After I read your first book and after getting a internet connection of like 100 Mbps right now,
Okay.
till then I had no idea of interviewing you because I had stopped the podcast around 13 episodes and I stopped it
Okay.
because of poor connectivity. I had some worst internet because I live in a
Yeah.
small town over here.
Okay.
So when it
Okay.
got fixed, the first person came in my mind was Shreya Pattar, and second was Jose Rosado, our another coach,
Mm-hmm.
and few others. But I first approached you, and you accepted the invite. I am really grateful for that.
Yeah, I'm so glad we did this. This is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Okay, Shreya, just this last part is for my testimonial. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why do you think people should listen to this episode?
Mm, I think this episode is a good summary of just what you can expect from a freelancing life. Because I've talked about, not just college and, how I got started with freelancing, but also broadly about my ebooks and how I did different things, how I chose different paths. So I think it's just a nice, different outlook as compared to just, working with clients. Okay, that's one part of my life, but there's something else as well. So I think, yeah, this was a good summary of the different aspects of my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Thank you so much for listening till the end. It means a lot to me. And if you want to stay notified for next episode, make sure you click the subscribe button. And if you like the episode, if you think I have added some value to your life or Shreya has added some value to your life, make sure you like and share it with your friends, and that would mean a lot to me. We will catch up in the next episode of Keep Me Inspired. And until then, stay safe and stay inspired.